There's a lot of bad for me and you and the people of South Korea and North Korea and Japan. There are some other truths as well, that regardless of what we do, there's a lot of bad connected to it. There's a lot of bad for me and you and the people of South Korea and North Korea and Japan if they launch on Japan as well. This is something I feel very personal about because I have family in South Korea. My wife is from South Korea, and there are a lot of family members that still live in Seoul, around Seoul, and even right next to the DMZ. This is my grandmother-in-law with my son when she visited us last spring. Here she is again with my son playing with him. And here's the 4 generations together. My grandmother-in-law, my wife on her right, my mother-in-law holding my son. These are the people that I think about. But when you think about South Korea and North Korea and the war, ask not for whom the bell tolls, because it tolls for thee. It tolls for all of us, because regardless of what happens, it's going to be bad for all of us. If we wait, it's going to be really bad down the road. If we take some sort of action, the best case scenario from analysts is tens of thousands of people die. Will it be the 100,000 U.S. troops in South Korea? Will it be the 100,000 people that live there? The 50,000 troops in Japan? Will it be those Americans? How about the people of South Korea, your fellow human beings who simply want to live in a peaceful, capitalistic world? Will it be bad for me and you here in the United States? Of course, because Japan, South Korea, and the United States have 3 of the top economies in the world. China has one of the top economies in the world. Regardless of what happens, there will be some sort of economic collapse. It's just a matter of how bad. So we got to prepare for it and pray and hope that there is the great outcome, or I guess the best outcome. Diplomacy, as Dianne Feinstein and others are suggesting, what reason would we have to believe that diplomacy would suddenly work now when it hasn't worked in the past? What reason would we have to believe that the sanctions they just passed with the UN Security Council would work now when they haven't in the past? Unfortunately, we're going to have to do something. But remember, regardless of what happens, likely there are going to be your fellow, not just Americans, but citizens who die. Let's be smart.